Have you ever felt like your dreams and love were pulling you in completely opposite directions, forcing you to choose between your passion and your heart? What would you do if the person who makes you feel alive is also the one who might derail everything you've worked for? Before we dive into this emotional journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like, because this story is going to take you through every feeling you can imagine, and you won't want to miss what happens. Next, another Love Out of Time from 2025 tells the story of Dallas, a young woman who carries the weight of loss and ambition on her shoulders after becoming an orphan and moving in with her older brother. Her brother happens to be the football coach at her new high school, which puts her in an environment she never asked for but must navigate. Dallas is a talented dancer whose entire world revolves around one singular goal: getting accepted into CalArts, the prestigious art academy in California where her late mother once studied. Every moment of her life is structured around perfecting her craft, rehearsing until exhaustion, and preparing for the audition that could change her future. She reluctantly becomes a cheerleader at her new school, not because she wants the spotlight or the social status, but because circumstances push her into it. Despite having her best friend by her side on the cheer squad, Dallas remains laser-focused, keeping emotional distance from anything that might distract her from her dreams. Then Drayton enters her life like a storm she never saw coming. He is the star quarterback of the football team, the kind of guy everyone knows and watches, the kind of athlete who seems to have everything figured out. But beneath that confident exterior and athletic prowess, Drayton is struggling with his own demons and uncertainties about what his future should actually look like. His father, a strict and demanding man who once walked the same path, has mapped out Drayton's entire life for him. The plan is simple and non-negotiable in his father's eyes. Drayton must follow family tradition and attend the same university where every man in their family has studied and played football. But Drayton is not convinced this is the path he wants, and the pressure weighs heavily on him as he tries to figure out who he is beyond his father's expectations and the jersey he wears. The chemistry between Dallas and Drayton is undeniable from the moment they cross paths. There is something magnetic about the way they connect, an instant recognition that neither of them can ignore no matter how hard they try. But their connection creates a problem neither of them anticipated because their dreams seem to exist in completely different worlds. Dallas keeps telling herself and everyone around her that she cannot afford distractions, that a relationship would derail her focus and compromise everything she has sacrificed for her audition. She has built walls around her heart, protective barriers designed to keep her on track and prevent anything from interfering with the legacy she wants to honor in her mother's memory. Drayton, on the other hand, is labeled as the bad boy quarterback, though his actions toward Dallas reveal a gentleness and understanding that contradicts his reputation. The narrative tries to convince us that he is dangerous for her, that getting involved with him would be a mistake, but what unfolds is far more complicated and tender than stereotypes suggest. As they spend more time together, their individual struggles begin to intertwine, creating a bond that feels both inevitable and terrifying. Drayton is dealing with a setback that shakes his confidence and forces him to question everything he thought he knew about himself and his abilities. This challenge, this moment of vulnerability, becomes a turning point in his journey as he works through recovery and tries to find clarity about whether football is truly his passion or just something he has been conditioned to pursue. Dallas witnesses his struggle and finds herself drawn deeper into his world, even as she fights against the pull. The film explores the tension between personal ambition and emotional connection, asking whether love can survive when two people are heading in opposite directions. Their relationship becomes a dance of push and pull, moments of intense closeness followed by painful distance as they each grapple with their fears and responsibilities. The conflict intensifies as Dallas prepares for her crucial audition, the one opportunity that could secure her scholarship and open the door to the future she has envisioned since childhood. Every rehearsal becomes more intense. Every mistake feels more costly, and the pressure mounts as the audition date approaches. During this time, her relationship with Drayton becomes both a source of inspiration and a source of internal turmoil. She finds that being with him unlocks something in her dancing, a rawness and emotional depth that was missing before, the very inspiration she needed to elevate her performance. But she also fears that this emotional investment will shatter her focus and cause her to fail when it matters most. Drayton faces his own crossroads as college recruitment intensifies, and his father's expectations become more forceful. Universities are interested in him, offering opportunities that many would dream of, but the question remains whether any of these paths are truly his choice or simply continuations of his father's unfulfilled ambitions. The relationship is tested by distance, both physical and emotional, as they each deal with personal changes and the reality that their lives might take them to different places. There are moments when it seems like their love story might not survive the weight of their individual journeys, when the obstacles feel too great and the sacrifices too painful. The film weaves through scenes of Dallas pushing herself to her absolute limits in the dance studio, her body expressing emotions she cannot put into words, while Drayton confronts his father and the legacy that has defined him for so long. Their friends and family watch from the sidelines, offering support but unable to make the decisions that only Dallas and Drayton can make for themselves. As the story builds toward its climax, both characters must face the fundamental question of whether they can pursue their dreams without losing each other, or if love requires compromise and sacrifice that might redirect their carefully planned futures. Dallas's audition becomes more than just a performance. It becomes a moment where everything she has felt, lost and discovered through her relationship with Drayton, pours out through her movement. Drayton must finally decide whether he will continue down the path his father has laid out or take the terrifying step of defining his own identity and future, even if it means disappointing the people who have always expected greatness from him. The film suggests that true connection requires vulnerability and the courage to let someone in even when it feels risky, and that sometimes the people who challenge us the most are the ones who help us become who we are meant to be. The resolution brings Dallas and Drayton to a place where they must reconcile their ambitions with their feelings, understanding that growth sometimes means making difficult choices and that love does not always follow the neat timelines we try to impose on our lives. The story explores themes of identity, parental pressure, grief, ambition, and the ways unexpected relationships can transform us in ways we never anticipated. It asks whether two people with different dreams can build something together without one person sacrificing everything for the other, and whether the journey toward our goals is enriched or complicated by the connections we make along the way. Another Love Out of Time ultimately presents a narrative about young people trying to honor their pasts while building their futures, navigating the complex terrain between what they want for themselves and what others expect from them, all while discovering that sometimes the most unexpected person becomes the one who helps them see their path more clearly.